Good evening and welcome to SAFC Fan TV and another edition of the Sunday Bunch, because it's a Sunday. On the show tonight, we have CONRAD Lee. Give us a wave, CONRAD. Thank you very much. Is there a delay? The Mad Mistake is with us. Woohoo! With his beer. We got Jacob Dan Saf. Hello,
Dan
Jacob.
Saf. How we doing?
Have you got your glass of wine?
No, thought I'd crack open a cheeky Guinness tonight.
Oh, cheeky Guinness. There you go. We have Sean Middleton with us. Give us a wave, Sean. And the man with all the stats, Michael Bowers. Give us a wave, Michael.
I'll give you a thumbs up instead.
Thumbs up. A thumbs up. Well, there you go. Well, seeing as you mentioned that, don't forget, if you're watching, please hit the like button. And do subscribe. At the time of starting tonight, we are just 112 subscribers off the magic 5,000. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you have subscribed, grab hold of somebody who hasn't and make them subscribe. We are on the live chat as well tonight. If you want to join in the show, please do so. Thane's already on there. Keisha, Cameron, Jude, Mick Griffiths, and of course Sean's girlfriend Joanne Punchin is with us, David Walker, Anthony Perth, and that's about it for now, isn't it? We're going to start then. Wimbledon 0, Sunderland 3. Are we getting excited, or should we be beating them 3-0? I think we'll start with Michael Bowers.
Well, I mean, well, to be honest, we had a little debate off air before we came on about how good the performance and how good or bad it was, which at the end of the day, the narrative has been whenever we haven't won a game where we've arguably deserved to win, the performance hasn't mattered. All that matters is the result. So for me, that argument should be used for yesterday. Were we great? The first half, I thought we were all right. I know some people might say, "Oh, we didn't create that many chances." I felt that the purpose and intent was there going forward. It was just in the final third, the decision making.
Yeah, but we didn't create that many chances, though, did we?
Yes, we did. We scored.
Oh, one. Sorry. So my mistake. Sorry.
Okay.
Carry on, Michael. Carry on.
Yeah. I'll know what Phil's trying to do here, so I'm not going to rise to it.
I'm stating facts. That's all.
Read the stats out. Read the stats out.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, but yeah, first half, I would say we were the better side, although you could say Wimbledon didn't offer very much. Second half, I agree, it was poor, although I thought it was poor from both teams, not just Sunderland. I felt people can say we didn't create much second half. I don't think Wimbledon did. I think the best effort that Wimbledon had was one that clipped the post at 2-0 when the game was at 2-0 going at the 90th minute. So unless Sunderland tried their very best to do a Sunderland, the result probably wouldn't have changed. But you never know. That is ifs and buts. At the end of the day, where are we now? Is it 8th?
Yes.
It's in the league after the 3 o'clock games. Yeah. But like I've said before, I said this after the Lincoln game, and I'm going to reiterate that point again. This has got to be the start of a winning run. There's no point winning 3-0 in that game if we follow it up by not winning in midweek. We've got to beat Plymouth, got to beat Shrewsbury, assuming that game gets played because of the FA Cup game between Shrewsbury and Southampton. Because if Shrewsbury beat the Saints, they get in the FA Cup next Saturday. So yeah, hopefully start of a winning run.
Right, okay, quickly on the chat, Paul at Fans React is being pushed tonight with red wine, apparently.
Ooh.
Okay.
Chris Scott on the chat says, well, one of these statements is absolutely ridiculous. You work out which one it is. He says, up by Easter, and then he says, get Virgil van Wijk on the plane to the Euros. So which one of those is a ridiculous statement to make?
Up by Easter.
Up by Easter. Yay! Thank you very much.
Charlie White to the Euros, man.
I'll stack them up. You knock them down. That's what you got to do. And Thane on the chat says, don't forget to subscribe. And what is it, Sean?
Please subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost a penny. And
that's it.
If you're unsure, ask somebody who can do it for you.
Mad Mistake, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, what are you doing?
So I've been for a run and I haven't been in the bath yet. Just got to smell nice views. I wondered what it was.
I thought it was our lass's breath. Right then. She'll be in to give us a clip in a bit, no doubt.
Well,
Right, so Sean, 3-0 against lowly, tiny little Wimbledon. All right. And of course, don't forget we're this big club, mighty Sunderland and all that. And we win 3-0 down there. Are we all excited about that? Or should we be getting excited? Or what?
well, what I can't understand about the whole thing is, I think with some fans, it doesn't matter if we're win, lose or draw. They'll always have something to complain about. I think, yeah, we were expected a win. They were 4th from bottom. But to be honest, there's a couple of top 6 sides that went there and haven't picked up 3 points. So you put that into perspective. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't a pretty game to watch. But I'm not having this where people say that they were the better side or they controlled the game because they fucking they didn't control the game. And they didn't they didn't cause any problems. That one shot would hit the post. I mean, I've read the stats yesterday with Dino. We deserved to win the game. Yes, it wasn't pretty, and this that and the other. It was just nothing and grinding and just grinding the game out. But it was a good start. 6 minutes in, Charlie White gets his first goal. Great work down the right. Embleton to O'Brien cost in great goal, number 1. And then there was a bit in the second half where they were sort of taking over a little bit, or just getting on the up a little bit. And Johnson was saying that he made a couple of subs, which I like what Johnson's done, by the way. If you think something's not working, or players are not putting a shift in, he will make the changes. And that's one thing what Parkinson couldn't do. He's too stubborn. But anyway, the second goal was a great goal. But again, the second goal by Charlie White, corner come in, great finish for number 2. And then obviously the third goal in the break was a great play from Scowen and Ledbetter, playing the 1-2 out of the defence. And then Scowen brought it out. He brought it out, he delayed it, and then he played the pass through to Charlie White, who makes it 3, and it's a hat-trick. And it was a well-deserved 3 points onto the next game against Plymouth.
Boom. Right, on the chat then, just very quickly, Tony Lee, friend of the show, my pal from ages ago, says Sean and Bowersy were exceptional in yesterday's commentary. So round of applause for them, lads. Well done. Thanks for the compliment, mate. Thanks for that. Tommy says Sean got the right score. I'm just going to quickly go through the predictions we had here.
Yes, I did.
Let me have a check. Where have I got them? I've got them somewhere. You're probably lying. Oh, here we are. Right. Right, of course. Mad Mistake said 4-1. Michael Bowers said 2-1. These all at Sunderland. Dino said 1-0. Jacob said 2-1. And Sean, just me and you with the 3-0 victory there. Got it right. I do remember you saying, though, Sean, I'll predict 3-0, but nobody put any money on it because you always get it wrong. So I was going to put some money on it, but didn't because of it.
Don't you like 3-1?
I don't know. Let's move on. The mad mistake then. 3-0 against Wimbledon. Are we to get excited or what? I mean, what did you think of the game?
Well, I'm more of a performance-based person, but also I'm happy with the result. 3-0, you kind of complain with it. If you look at the result in black and white, 3-0 looks pretty good. But performance-wise, we couldn't pass the ball. We had 2 really good passes. We had a good pass from Scowen that created the opportunity for Charlie White. We had a good pass from Embleton after another good pass, obviously, from Ledbetter, who I thought was the best midfielder out of the 3. He got it through Embleton. Embleton turned really nicely and sort of found Aidan O'Brien, who crossed it for Charlie White. I'm going to call him one-touch Charlie White because, for me, if a player gets a hat-trick, he deserves 10 out of 10, regardless how they get on in the game. For me, if you score 3 goals and they win the game of football, 10 out of 10. If you can get the ball to Charlie White in the box so it comes to his feet straight away, he will put the ball in the back of the net. The problem with Charlie White is if he gets the ball with his back to the goal, has to take 2 or 3 touches. By the time he gets his feet sorted out, he will get robbed of the ball. But one-touch Charlie White yesterday was spot on. Brilliant. A brilliant corner from Ledbetter. Charlie White found space, powered the ball in the back of the net, tap in for the first goal. Charlie White did yesterday that if Will Grigg was there, I'm pretty sure Will Grigg wouldn't have scored one of those goals now when we look back on the history. But Charlie White, 10 out of 10 was brilliant. But other players in the side, they could not pass the ball yesterday. I mean, we couldn't get more than 3 passes going at some point. After 6 minutes, between 6 and 70 minutes for me, Wimbledon just shaded the match until Johnson realised Wimbledon was starting to get control of the game. I know Wimbledon didn't create that much, but they dominated the midfield a bit and they were more attacking until the final third. Then Johnson, for me, he brought on Jack Diamond, and Jack Diamond was a different class. His energy, he's running with the ball, his passing, his pace, it was great to watch. So for me, Jack Diamond, when he came on, for the last bit he was on the pitch, he did absolutely fantastic. But before that, apart from the one good pass from Embleton, the one good pass from Scowen, I thought them were really poor in midfield. And when you got Ledbetter being the best player in midfield, it doesn't speak volumes for Scone and Embleton. But at the end of the day, we got 3 points. It's about getting the points. It's about getting the confidence and going forward. It's something for Lee Johnson to build on. But for me, they need to go back to the training pitch and learn how to pass the ball.
Right, fair dues. Back to the chat quickly. I've got to say hello to the Bristolian Mackham, I presume, down in Bristol. More compliments coming here. Adam French, pure class commentary by the lads. Mr. Bowers and Mr. Red Bull, no swearing at Middleton. Did all right there. There's another one down here, says, where is it? Oh, yeah. Ken Walton, well done in commentary. Sean, a.k.a. George Taylor. And that's a compliment, lol. Now, you lots will probably go, well, no. Terry will probably remember George Taylor, but you lot probably won't because you were all, well, probably not even in nappies. So, Jacob, 3-0 yesterday. What did you think?
Brilliant result, even though at times we were a bit shaky in terms of our midfield passing the ball. But I guess when you're up against teams like that down the bottom, which, to be fair, we haven't played at our best against for the majority of the season. Take the Northampton game, for example. It was all about getting over the line and scoring 3 goals. Charlie White hat-trick. Can't go wrong, really. First hat-trick in a Sunderland shirt. Took his goals with such ease. The third one, terrific chip over the keeper. Brilliant getting on the end of Ledbetter's corner, which a lot of strikers you don't see do down in League One these days, just peeling across, getting onto the near post and then volleying it into the far corner. Fantastic finish. And a great link-up play between him and O'Brien for the first one as well. I was a little bit sceptical of Johnson's decisions he made in terms of the starting lineup, leaving the likes of Diamond on the bench, Sanderson, who'd been playing well recently, being dropped, but Jordan Willis, very solid game playing at the back, and O'Brien up there with Wyke, it worked brilliantly. Wimbledon didn't really offer much though. Tuesday night's game against Plymouth will be a lot tougher. It definitely wasn't the Wimbledon team that Philly would recognise most back in the 1980s. The crazy gang, John Fashanu, Dennis Wise, Big Vinny, coming into the dressing room with their ghetto blasters, antagonising the opposition. It wasn't that Wimbledon that we all recognise, but it was. You can only beat what's in front of you. Got the job done, 3-0. I'm all happy at the end of the day. Roll on Tuesday.
Okay, am I sounding like a Dalek? Am I all right?
You're all right.
Nice, I know it. Yeah, fine.
Right, that's okay then. Right, fair dues then. Quickly on the chat, Joanne Punchin says, remember, give the channel a thumbs up. So if you're watching now, just hit the like button, give us a thumbs up if you would, please. And don't forget, we're only 112 subscribers away from 5,000. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Conrad, should we be getting excited about that 3-0 win, or is it just tiny little Wimbledon?
Neither. We've just got to be happy that we've won a game. The last few games, we always seem to slip up and draw them no matter what seems to be happening. So to come away with a win is good. We can only judge that result really though on what we do in the next few games, because we all want us to go on a run. It's typical Sunderland where we've won games and then just gone on and drawn against someone. I would say lost, but we've lost the least amount of games in that league. So, and we still haven't been beaten away from home. So I don't know. I think it's just
You've just cursed it.
I don't mind.
Next week.
I was kind of hoping Dina would be here just so I could tell him he was talking us a crap yesterday after the game. I've never felt more like, honestly, I wasn't feeling well anyway, but I was recording that with Sean. And when I was like happy that I was like, oh, we've won 3-0, all right. And then Dina was like, yeah, well, it's rubbish this. Like, we didn't play very well. I just like, God, just take the wind out of me sails, man. Like, I was enjoying the fact that we'd won a game. I was just trying to like live in the moment, and he pissed all over my parade. So
right, well, fair enough. You might as well do all that.
Sod off, Dino. I'm calling you out.
You might as well. You might as well do it while he's not on tonight, taking a break, so he can't fight back. That was a cheap shot. That was right. Well, for me, I didn't think it was that good a performance, really, but it was a 3-0 win, and that is how, you know, if you win on a poor performance, that's brilliant for me. It's the way to go. Charlie Wyke, then, it wasn't that long ago when we were all right, barring probably Sean, that we were calling him worse than we call each other behind each other's backs, sort of thing. I mean, we just he wasn't he wasn't flavour of the month. He wasn't doing it. On the chat here, Mick Griffiths says Greg would have put all three over the bar.
Probably wouldn't have gotten the position for to that.
Probably wouldn't have, no worry.
So, well, the question I want to ask, and to be honest, I mean, I've said it many times on here, and you know, I had a fiver on Will Grigg to be top scorer in this league this season, right? And every time I put another bet on, it's always there on my bets. So today, I thought enough's enough, and I cashed in for 15p, and I think I got a. I still think
great deal. Great deal.
I still think I got a good deal on 15 pence off me fiver, because he ain't going to do it. So the question asked then, do we still like Charlie Wyke, or is it just the fact he's scoring goals? And are we desperate for another striker? Because it's up until Saturday, scoring goals has been a problem for us, but everybody's raving on about Charlie Wyke. Mad Mistake, you want to get in there?
Okay, I do think he's a slow, lethargic. His football isn't very good. He kind control the ball, this, that, and the other, but fair enough. But if he's in the penalty box, put the ball to his feet, that scores the goals, I don't care. I don't give a shit. For me, it can be awful at football. If he's in that penalty box and scores a hat-trick, well done, Charlie Wyke. 10 out of 10, like I said earlier on. One touch, Charlie Wyke. Put the ball at his feet. He knows where the goddamn goal is.
So, in that case then, so he's all right. We don't really need another striker then, do we?
We need backup just in case.
All right. Okay.
Corona's
so
back.
we sign. All right. We sign. Yeah. We sign. I'll wait for you to recover.
I'm joking because I'm happy with Charlie Wyke.
Right. Okay. We sign a new striker, and but we only sign him as backup for Charlie Wyke. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Competition. We need to keep the bloke on his toes. There's nobody else there on the side who can score goals apart from Charlie Wyke. So if he goes a bit dry, we need somebody to come in and bang them in, don't we? If he gets injured, knackered, he's been injury prone in the past. Just takes one knock and the bloke might go down. You don't know.
I tell you what, it was only a few months ago. The guy couldn't have gone out in town because he was that hated. Sean, you defended him though. Do we need another striker?
Anybody. I don't hate anybody. That's a harsh statement. We dislike football.
Yes, you do, Terry.
Stuart Donald.
Stuart Donald.
You hate me. You said all the time.
Stuart Donald. I don't hate Charlie Medfin. I dislike them. It's different.
You hate me. You always say you hate me all the time.
I'm only jealous of you because the goddamn Karens you want.
Oh, you want to try living with her? She's a nightmare.
Don't want to live with
Oh.
her.
Sean, you defended Charlie Wyke when all the haters were out and all that. So he's your favourite. He's delivering the goods, and we don't need another striker then, do we?
Well, as Terry just said there, I mean, I would still get one because, as Terry correctly said, if Charlie hasn't got any competition, he could sort of like think, oh well, there's nobody else going to get in my place. The competition for places, I would still get a strike regardless, even if Charlie White wasn't playing well and getting the goals. I still think like Danny Graham and Will Griggs just haven't done it. So you've got to like sort of try and maybe get rid of one of them and bring somebody else in. I believe that we're linked with a couple of strikers. I don't know if I think something might materialise next week. I'm not sure, but
hang on. You haven't been talking to 12-year-old Charlie again on Twitter, have you?
No.
Well, where's your source? Where's your source come from?
Well, like you see, it's
you don't give out your sources, Philly.
Philly, he's third. He's the third highest goal scorer in the league. There's only Jonathan Clark-Harris who's got more in that. What's he called? That Pickett, Joe Pickett. Them two's the only two players who's got more goals in this division. And I mean, you've got to think. Like, see, we've all said this and that about Charlie White, but I just think that I think there's a lot of people saying he's the worst striker in the club's history, and this, that, and the other. You know, that's a bit harsh. Like, I'm thinking when you've had strikers like Brett Angel who couldn't score a goal, and you know, there's been other strikers I can't really name off the top of my head, but I think Charlie, he deserves a lot of credit. I mean, like yesterday, in games like yesterday, there wasn't much happening, but when there's a chance, you need your striker to put them away. And I think Jamsoni says something as well. Like he was having to go at the performance yesterday, and I think Dino did as well. But for me, it's about a results business. Like, I know they're saying, well, if we play better sides, well, we need to play better. That's all fair and well. But let's give Charlie White the credit yesterday. He scored a hat-trick. He had 4 or 5 chances. He put 3 away. He didn't. It's relevant what he did in the rest of the game. He scored 3 goals. Strikers get judged on scoring goals. Do you know what I mean? Not what they did during the 90 minutes. It was probably crap during that. That's Jam Sonny said it was crap in the 90 minutes. Yes, he was, Joel, but he scored 3 goals. He scored 3 goals, and then 3 goals once the game. So there you go. But I'll still get another strike win. I'll still get another strike win because if he gets an injury, you know, then we're really are scraping the barrel, to be fair. So we need another strike. I think we're going to bring a lone strike in next week. That's what I've been told.
Right. What I'm gonna do. Don't normally do this, but that's second time Dino's been mentioned and he's not had a chance to sort of respond. So I'm quickly going to send him an invite and see. He might not be available, but if he is, he can come on and he can respond. he can respond to you because I think he's having a go without him having the chance to come back again. So we'll do that.
You'll like my name as well.
Sorry.
You know, I'm going to defend Dino. I can see where he's coming from. The performance wasn't good.
Oh, you're saying that now while you've invited him? Beforehand.
It was good. The result was great, 3-0 win, but the performance, if we play that kind of way against better teams, we're going to suffer. We are, but I'm hoping that we're going to build in time. I didn't think yesterday's performance was much better than Phil Parkinson days, to be fair. Apart from we had Charlie White, who's fit and got the ball to his feet, who put the ball at the back of the net. That was the difference between the two sides. Charlie White yesterday.
Right, okay. Also with this...
Michael's got a great point to make.
I'm just waiting until Phil's ready, that's all. You were saying something?
Phil doesn't want you to make your great point, Michael. He knows before the chat. This is censorship. We're being censored.
The thing is, Sean says he's heard that, you know, somebody could be coming in. Fair play to him. He did say Carl Winchester wouldn't be starting on Saturday, and he didn't. So maybe 12-year-old Charlie on Twitter. I'm
sure Charlie changes his age all the time. He was 15 at one point, and then he was 12.
So, right then. Well, we was going to go to Michael, but we'll go to CONRAD. Big Charlie White fan now then, or do we need another striker, or what? How's it going?
It's always best to have another striker, another option on there, just in case, like Terry says, he picks up a knock or anything there. I'm interested to see how O'Brien beds in now, because he was playing sort of not up top with Charlie, but just in behind him, and then he obviously scored against Port Vale, lowly Port Vale, I'll say, before you all jump on that one there. So why not? like O'Brien could do it. If we get someone on loan for the rest of the season, all right. They're still playing for their contracts because Wykes is up at the end of the season, same as Danny Graham's as well. So they're all playing for potentially a position or even a position at another club next season.
All right, just a second there, Conrad. We've got somebody joining us. Hey!
Here's the shit talker.
Right,
the
let
shit
me
talker.
The one week I'm not on, and I'm getting so much shit chucked my way because the week I'm not on.
Right.
We waited.
Well,
Go on,
listen.
Go on.
Listen, I thought it was only fair because a couple of them now have mentioned you. So, and yeah, the Mad Mistakes defended you there. So,
when he realised you were coming, he defended you.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But if you watch my match review yesterday, you'll see what I said is almost the same as Dino.
Yeah.
So, Conrad, go on. You was wanting to put something to Dino. Fire away. He's there to respond.
Talking shit. We can play badly and still win a game. Why not? We played badly against Peterborough and we scraped a win. We played well against Cheltenham and didn't win. So it doesn't really matter too much if we play poorly and then we still come away with the 3 points. I'll take it all the rest of the season. Every game.
What do this?
See, you're playing risky when you're doing stuff like that though. Like, it's good enough saying, oh, we played badly but we got the result, but how long can you do that until you're still playing badly and getting beat every week and you can't get out that rut?
You can't play great every week either. That'll end at some point.
But we haven't been great any week.
We haven't been great for years, but it doesn't matter if we pick up the results now.
Apart from the Charlton game where we played fantastic but we drew, or
for
what the score was. Other than that game, we haven't played well from start of the season till now. I mean, are you telling me?
You're saying we're playing well now?
Lincoln?
No, okay.
Lincoln was an
anomaly.
Was mint.
Was
that
Lee Johnson's second game?
Yeah. Well,
but
in the league it was, basically.
The players get the bounce, don't they? Every look at all the times again, you manager, the players get a bounce and then we stuff somebody. But then what happened after Lincoln?
Right,
we had COVID. COVID. We didn't get a chance to have a proper go at it.
Just go on. Mad Mistake, you go in, and then I'll ask.
No, Dino's here. Come on, Dino, fight me.
The perspective we've got all expected to get promoted straight away. We're in 8th place in League One, for God's sake. That's how well we've played this season. 8th place in League One. It's pathetic overall, to be fair.
Right, Dino.
Hello.
I want to ask you then. Right, so if we play like we did on Saturday, right, every week, and we still win, you're still not going to be happy.
But the thing is, Philly, you can't just say play like that and we'll still win because you can't predict what the score's going to be week by week. So you can play like that 10 times, maybe win 2 games, draw a couple and lose the rest.
Yeah, but
I mean, would you be happy playing like that, not knowing what the results are going to be week by week and be happy?
If we won, yeah, we could. Yeah,
but you don't know if we're going to win or not. You can't be 100% going to win.
Yeah, but you don't know that we're going to lose. So it works both ways, doesn't it?
It works both ways, yeah. But
how can you?
Danny Collins put it on a plate. He said, "You can't tell who's the relegation team and who's the team going for the top 6. That's bad."
But so what? We won 3-0.
So yeah, exactly.
So it's like
yeah, but Philly, if on the match review I says it was a good result but a poor performance, but people can't get their heads around that. You can have good results but poor performances, but we have too many poor performances and not very many good results.
Is it not a good thing that you can get a win when you played poorly though? Is that not a good thing?
We've been doing that since the start of the season, though, Philly. Every time we've won now, it's been a bad performance.
So and so what?
So Philly,
anyway,
are you happy with 8th place?
And a game in hand. So what that makes
are you happy where you are now?
You're saying game in hand.
Where you sit right now.
We would have to win it.
6
You're
points.
saying game in hand,
6
Philly.
points off second place with the game in hand.
Happy?
Yeah,
Philly.
Yeah.
Philly.
Yeah, I think we're in a good position.
Game in hand on us.
We're in a good position. We're in a good
We can't be
position.
first all. We can't be first all season.
It's not where you start.
Right? devil's advocate. 20 games, we double the 40 games time, we're still in 8th place.
No, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. I'm not bothered if I'm
We're
not
gonna
bothered.
get promoted the way we are at this moment in time. We have to improve.
Listen.
Improve.
I'm not bothered if we're 8th place with 1 game to go, so long as we win the league.
There's still 26 games left.
You know what I mean?
There's still 26 games left.
Anyway,
It's a different conversation that we're having if we're suddenly sitting there going 3 games left to go. Are you happy with 8th place? No, of course not. But we've got half the season. Yeah, but it's half the season left to go at this point there. To be talking about performances now is a bit like, I don't care if we get the points on the board.
8th place.
Right, listen.
Still up there with everyone. Still up there in touching distance with everyone.
You cannot be happy with that.
Listen. Let me. Right, everybody wants in, so let me try and get you in one at a time. And before I do, my wife says on the chat, Phil's happy with his poor performances because he always wins in the end, whatever that's supposed to mean. Don't laugh because it just encourages her. It encourages her. Michael Bowers, go on, you go first.
I want to ask Terry a direct question. If performances, I remember watching your video after we played Charlton off the park first half, but the narrative was, "Oh, I'm angry because we didn't win," but the performance was good. So, like, why is it when we win the performance is?
Impression, by the way.
1-0, Michael.
Sorry.
Solid impression.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. My point was going to be. I agree to an extent. I agree with what Dino said. I think if you keep playing poorly, it's not sustainable that you are going to win. You do need to play better. Yes. But my annoyance is when we don't win a game, even if say we play well, like again at Charlton, we played well, first half, battered them, should have been 5-6-0 up. But no one focuses on that. Everyone focuses on the fact we didn't win the game. But when we play poorly and win, it's not that we've won, it's the performance is poor. How does that work?
In hindsight,
moaning mentality.
Really played well for me overall in one game. If I look back properly, because you take goals into account, the only really good performance, to be honest, is Lincoln. That's the only really good performance this season. The rest have been either mediocre and we scraped a win, mediocre, we've lost, mediocre, we've drawn. There's been no. You can tell we were a League One side. I'm not stupid. I know we were a League One side. We got League One players. Charlie White wouldn't be any good in the Championship. Scowen wouldn't be any good in the Championship. Embleton wouldn't be. They're all League One players, and a lot of teams are the same. But as a club of our expectations, I want more. I know we won yesterday 3-0. But we dropped so many points in the first half.
Can I have some more?
I mean, we keep on playing till the cows come home. We'll drop loads more points in the future. That's the way it's going. That's the way it's
going as well then.
But we need some more additions in the squad, big time.
That I agree with. Well, just quickly say that. Yes, obviously yesterday, Wimbledon didn't offer that much. But at the end of the day, Peterborough went there at the start of December and got beat 2-1.
But the last 5 games, they get 1 point. The last 5 games before yesterday, Wimbledon only got 1 point in 5 games, and that was against us. They got
Which, granted, a lot of that was down to the fact...
Teams go up and down with form, don't they?
Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of that was down to the fact we had to change the entire lineup going into that game. We're riddled with our squad.
Yes,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Wimbledon's form isn't that good at the moment. So I
agree. I expect it
was yesterday. I'm over the moon with 3-0 win, but the performance overall, when you watch the whole game, the passing wasn't very good.
Jacob, I know you're all wanting, but Jacob's been waiting a while. Jacob, what did you want to say?
You sure, Philly? I thought you said I was a twat.
The non-swearing thing's gone out the window, hasn't it?
I know that didn't last very long.
Come on, Jacob, pick a side. Pick a side, Jacob.
No, I'm kidding. I understand what Terry was saying. Like a lot of fans.
That's the wrong side, Jacob.
Let me finish, Conrad. All right. No, I understand what Terry was. Some fans believe that they want a lot more out of this team, but you have to look at the situation. If we get promoted this season, you have to remember a lot of the current squad we have are out of contract in the summer. The question is, do you think if we win promotion, Lee Johnson will look long term and think, did the players that we have in the squad this season that won us promotion, are they part of my long term plan here, and do they deserve new contracts? But I personally think Lee Johnson, he is a manager that is for the long term future. He'll be looking at the current squad we have at the moment, and I know the salary cap has sort of shafted him this season in terms of like he can't bring the right players that he could necessarily want to bring in this month, but potentially in the summer that could all change. And when we have a lot of players who will be leaving anyway, working with Christian Speakman, then we can judge him properly on the team that he wants to build properly. That's all I'm going to say.
Can I just say, Jacob, you're being far too reasonable. I'm trying to get an argument going here, and you're being all sensible. Sean, you wanted to say something to Dino. You wanted to say something to Dino because you also mentioned Dino before we had him on. So let's see if you're brave enough to face him right over Zoom. Come on, then.
Well, all I've got to say is football is a results business, Dino, yeah? Yeah,
go on.
Yeah. 1-3-0, yeah? We kept the clean sheet. I didn't play great, but can I take the positives out of the game?
I took positives out of the game, Sean. I said yesterday we kept a clean sheet. Lee Johnson's adapting, Charlie White hat-trick. But when you look at the game overall, from the 6th minute to the 87th minute, we did nothing. And to say that Wimbledon didn't do anything, I remember in the first half, Lee Bird made 2 saves. I don't remember their keeper making a save after we scored. You say we had more shots, but would you have 10 shots what are tamed straight at the keeper, not testing him, or 4 shots where Lee Bird has to make 4 saves? Stats don't tell the overall story. You can have loads of possession, but not pass the halfway line.
You can have like 6 shots Lee Bird had to save, but weren't they straight at him though?
Are they watching the same game to me? Is he watching the Arsenal game or something? Because I remember Lee Bird getting down to his near post for one, and one where he had a shot from outside the box and he had to push it out to Callum McFadden.
Well, at the end of the day, the way I say it is, it was 1-3-0. That had to hit the post, but that's for me. We can improve. The manager even said that. The manager says, "Look, at 1-3-0. There's a lot of work to do." That's let's take the positives. We're 8th. We've got to keep on winning now. That's fair enough. We've got to keep on winning. We weren't great yesterday. No, that's fair enough. We weren't great, but after a 3-0 win, that's kind of understand how people so negative about. Like, you keep the clean sheet, you win 3-0, and they still have got something to complain about. Fair enough. If we didn't beat Plymouth on Tuesday and didn't beat Shrewsbury, then fair enough. But I think we'll win the next 2 games. But
don't forget, Sean.
Then you'll be right.
Don't forget, Sean. The best team doesn't always win the game. And for me, 3-0 flattered us because 1-0 would have looked more reasonable because we didn't do anything.
Well, totally.
It was the fact we had 2 big penalties. Terrible game. Are you happy with that? Are you happy if we go on play the rest of the season like that, but you don't know the results?
But hang on.
If we get the results and play, that's fair enough. But if we're not getting results and obviously drawing or losing, then that's fair enough. But that's what Lee Johnson says. He says it was a good result. There's a lot of things to work on, and that's what I'm happy about. If that was Partons, then you probably see it was, if we drew 1-1 with Doncaster.
Let's just go on there.
Peter with Doncaster, and it's a great result against, Doncaster's a decent side, but this guy's ambitious, and he's saying, look at 1-3-0, but there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work to be done at training ground, and that's the thing I like about Lee Johnson, right?
Right, listen. Conrad's coming in next because he's been waiting, and the thing is, Dino, you were saying about 1-0 would have been a fairer result. Imagine how you would have moaned on at 1-0 because you're moaning on at 3-0.
I predicted 1-0, man. I predicted 1-0. What are you talking about?
So you're saying you'd have been happy at 1-0?
No, yeah. I'm saying 3-0. Like if you say, we won 3-0, how did they play? Oh, played shit.
Yes.
So how did you win 3-0?
No, you're missing the point. I'm saying is you're going mad that we won 3-0. If we'd have only won 1-0, you'd been knocking on our doors, want to knock us all out.
I'm not going mad. I'm saying it's a good result, but it flatters us because we weren't that good. If we come up against, hello, yes, my mistake, yes.
Before I went on air, Philly was saying we're absolutely shocking yesterday. He agrees with you.
Brilliant.
Right, listen, before I come to you, Conrad, thanks, Terry. Rufus Barja says Dino's face is getting redder. The reason for that, Rufus, is Dino lives in a certain part of the northeast where he has a red light. That is true, is it? You got a red light in your?
Yeah, it's a red lampshade. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's his sunbed.
He uses it for his work.
It's his sunbed.
Conrad, you was wanting.
I only wanted to. I'm stealing stats a bit like Michael here, using sort of his bit here. We had 4 shots on goal on target yesterday. I know 4's not a lot, but 4 shots on target testing their keeper, and he failed 75% of that time. Tested him enough, and we found out he wasn't very good.
How many shots did Wimbledon have?
I don't care about that. We won 3-0. Don't care about your teams.
Yeah, but see,
it's like when Sean tells me the lineups of other teams. Don't care.
See, but stats are there to be manipulated. Simple as that. And you can
75% he failed. That's all that matters.
You can make
100% of shots.
Sean, the one what hit the post doesn't count as a shot on target.
Don't matter. We won 3-0.
Exactly. That's sort of the bigger picture. Me.
I'll hit the post lots of times if it doesn't count if we win 3-0.
Right.
I'm not happy with the performance. All I'm saying is the performance wasn't very good. That's all I'm saying. And when we come up against a Charlton and we play the same and we can't score because they've got a better keeper and a better defence and we can't break them down, then everyone will be going, "Oh, we play crap." We did play crap, but we got the result. But when we play like that again against someone else,
right? Listen, before we go on.
I'm saying, how do we know we're going to play like that against a better side? Haven't we?
We've played like that all season, Michael. We've played like that all season.
You can't.
Charlton played them off the park, beat Ipswich, beat Peterborough. How do we know we're going to play like we did yesterday?
We're not.
That's what seems to be going on here. It seems to be a case of you seem to be bringing up the negative displays. Michael just said there. We outplayed Charlton. Peterborough were done the right thing. Ipswich beat Ipswich. You seem to be highlighting the poor performances.
I agree with. I see where Dino's coming from in the sense that you do need to improve performance-wise.
I completely agree with that side of it, but
yeah, no, I agree with that. I just don't get this. Why are we assuming we're going to play like that against the better teams? We've generally done better against the better sides since we've dropped into League One, haven't we?
Because we've had more bad performances than we've had good.
But nobody knows.
We've got to be better in the next 2 games. That's fair enough.
Listen. Just before we move on from this, Jacob, quickly, go on.
I'm telling you, if Dino played Football Manager, you know how you can tell your players what they think of your performance.
Would he just berate at all times?
You could be winning 4-0 at half time, and he'd absolutely be angry at every single one of them. Or he'd make his assistant do the managerial team talks instead.
He stood in the showers just seething.
Philly,
yes,
we've got games in hand. Ackland Stanley have got 2 games in hand on us.
Yeah, but they're not going to win theirs. They're not going to win theirs. They won't win theirs. We'll win ours. Simple as that. Their games in hand don't count.
People have other games in hand on us.
No,
we only have a game in hand on other people.
Listen.
So people have them over us as well.
Accrington Stanley, do you not agree? Accrington Stanley are in a false position.
Who are they?
Who are they?
Of course they're not.
Who are they?
Of course they are. And
you're not in a false position.
And now it's showing now because they lost at home to Gillingham, and now they're going to do like what Wickham did, who were brilliant the first part of the season, which is why they went up, right? And then they can't sustain it because they're not a massive club like what we are.
Oh my God, man!
Right?
It's irrelevant who's a bigger club. It's irrelevant. I hate this big club talk. It's irrelevant.
So do I. Right. Just very quickly, what I want to say. We've got our WhatsApp group on here, and we're all in, and we all talk rubbish in there. And just before we came on, Conrad and I think Michael were chatting about the Liverpool Man United game.
Right, debating about the Liverpool Man United.
Well, whatever, right.
Arguing.
Right. And Michael, and I'm going to quote you on this, Michael says, I don't get this drawing is a bad result thing. All right. So had we drawn at Wimbledon yesterday, Michael, would that have been an all right result?
The two games.
I'm
Completely
Michael,
different context.
Michael, I'm only quoting what you said. That's all.
I can see what Phil's doing here. Right. Let's get context up once and for all. In the Liverpool Man United game, the point I was making was in that game, you're 3 points ahead of a team that you're competing against to try and win the Premier League. You're not going to go full throttle to try and win the game to risk losing it. You're just not going to. Yes, you want to win the game, but for me, people have got some in that situation, right? So here's an example. Say Sunderland were top of the league and Ipswich was second, and we just bye Dino. Say Sunderland were top of the
league. Just gone.
He's just not.
He's had enough.
Just for argument. Say Sunderland were top of the league.
He said invite me again.
Just say if Sunderland were top of the league and Ipswich was second, and say we were 4 or 5 points ahead of them, and there was like a third of the season left to play. I would, in that scenario, I would take a draw. Yes, I would want to win, but I think it would be just as important to not lose the game. The difference is we were playing against a side that is in the bottom 4 of the league, and therefore a draw in that situation is poor. If Man United went to, say, I don't know, Sheffield United and played that way, I completely get the criticism. I think in certain situations, draws aren't bad results. So, maybe I said that awfully, but that was the point I was trying to get at.
Right. Just very quickly then, back on the chat. When I mentioned,
have you finished having your paddy, Dino?
Yeah, went off.
Sure. He left.
I don't want to hear like that. La 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 like that.
Right. What was the question, Philly? What were you going to say when I went off?
Nothing. We've moved on now. No, I was just asking Michael about Michael agreeing that he hates it when people say drawing's a bad result because he doesn't think drawing is a bad result. So what Michael said was that had we drawn 1-1 at Wimbledon yesterday, that would have been fine by him, is what he said. He'd have been happy with that.
If you remember it, basically, remember like Parkinson said at Doncaster, they beat Lincoln and Ipswich, so therefore a draw is their good result. Wimbledon beat Peterborough, so a draw's a good result, yeah.
Example, right? When we played Charlton, I says I'll take a draw. But when the game panned out, I says we should have won, but I was happy with the draw anyway, but we should have won. It was a good result.
Fair enough.
Dino, you're a guest. Stop hogging the limelight now. We've invited you on. Just very quickly on the chat, we mentioned Rufus Abarge or whatever, and apparently I've got wrong for pronouncing it wrong because it's rough as a badgers. Apparently, is how we do that. Joanne, Sean's lass, into her third Chardonnay and loves everyone. What do you think about that, Sean? Are you going to kick off with us all?
Yeah, Joanne's a good friend. She's married. I'll just reiterate that.
Right. Right. Okay. VSL Up says. We've got Accrington to play twice still, so all this games in hand, Accrington and all that. We
now when we go there, ball them off the park and win 3-0 twice.
Exactly. That'd be terrible. Right, we did say on when was we last on Thursday, right? I did say we're going to go on and win the next 5 games. Which means that'll change everybody's. People are saying, top 2's not on now, even though we're only 6 points off second place with a game in hand. So effectively 3 points when we've won that one. So top 2 is well in our grasp. We've won the first of 5. We've got Plymouth coming up, Shrewsbury coming up, Ipswich and Gillingham. Ipswich are not on the best of form. So when we win all 5, right? Is everybody changing their mind, and are we on for top 2? Conrad, you can kick that one off if you want.
If we win all 5, yeah, I'll probably change my tune from playoffs is the best. Yeah, keep it short and sweet.
Nice one. Mad mistake.
Yes, we will. This we can possibly get this moment in time with the squad we have, unless Lee Johnson does some magic in the team. But the playoffs is the best we have. We're not going to win 5 in a row. If we win 5 in a row, then I'll be over the moon, yes, but we're not going to do it. Simple as.
we all live in this magical world where we do win 5 in a row and give an answer?
No.
Win 10 in a row. Like the next 10 games, you never know, do you? You never know. Football.
Let's pretend we're in the Premier League as well while we're there, shall we?
Yeah.
No, but it's all. Why does it have to be all doom and gloom? Why do you have to be realistic? Why can't you just like?
One for the third goddamn season, Phil, man. Wake up.
Oh man, honestly, Jacob, we win these. Let's say, all right. I know you're saying, oh well, we're not going to do it. Let's say we've just played Gillingham, right? And it's now we're on the Sunday bunch after Gillingham, and that's 5 games in a row we've won. Are we going to change our tune? Or are we all still going to be going, well, it's Sunderland, you know, like we're not going to, is that still going to be the attitude? Jacob?
Well, it depends what the table could look like then. I mean, we could win 5 in a row, but we could still be sat in and around the same position we are now. I mean, Philly, ask me this sort of question when it comes to around about May, when it matters most.
Around about May.
Well,
just sit on the fence. Just sit on the fence.
On the fence.
When do we play Gillingham?
What's
4
that?
games time.
Yeah, week
Four
on
games time.
I'll tell you, we played Gillingham on the 30th of this month.
Right.
30th of January.
So clip this bit up, ready for that week.
So we're going to beat Plymouth on Tuesday, are we?
Plymouth on Tuesday.
Well,
Yeah, well, why not? Why not?
Yeah, we should.
The only dodgy one there has got to be Ipswich, away to Ipswich, right? But Ipswich are up and down. They're up and down like Dino's underpants when he's working with his tie on.
Amazon.
Okay.
Amazon better than Hermes.
Right, John. So it's the 31st of January. It's a Sunday night. We're all on the Sunday bunch together. We've already beaten Wimbledon. We've beaten Plymouth. We've beaten Shrewsbury, Ipswich, and we've just beaten Gillingham. 5 games. We're sitting. Well, we're probably in the top 2 anyway by then. Does the attitude change? Although, to be fair to you, Sean, I think you've been fairly positive. It's these other numpties who were fighting against to try and. So, are we positive if we win those 5?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you said last week we could win the next 5, or we could lose the next 5. We could win the next 10. Do you know what? Looking at the next 2 games, Plymouth and Shrewsbury, I would say I'm very confident in 6 points. But you know, the players can't be complacent. But I mean, I was looking at the tables there. Right, there's 26 games left. That's 78 points. There's still 78 points to play for. A lot of points. Anything can happen. Anything's possible. Even the top 2 is possible. It's highly, well, I say it's highly, once it's highly unlikely. We're just going to have to just win football matches. Just keep on winning football matches, and then you never know where it might take you. And hopefully, we can get in that top 2. And you've got to be optimistic, and you've got to try and believe. There's no point in being negative and being a doomy all the time. You've got to try and be happy and like say there's light in the tunnel. You know what I mean? If he's going to think negative all the time, then you'll have a negative life. Think positive, and then positive things will happen. And I think of course, we're finishing the top 6, top 2. It's going to take some good, but it can be achievable. Of course, it can.
Right, just very quickly on the chat, Jeff Holcroft says we might be going to Wembley twice. FFS, whatever that means. Oh man, Dino, man, I'm trying to keep the language out of it.
Right, keep the channel PG.
Listen, I might be old, but I know some of the kids. Clayton Edwards says, isn't Ipswich on TV?
Yep.
Thane says, yes, it's on Sky Sports. So I didn't realise it was. Just a little bit of advice to you, though. I wouldn't tune into Sky Sports. There's a much better commentary on the Mad Mistakes channel. No, I mean on our channel. Doing our own commentary on the games. So, Michael, we've just won 5 in a row. I'll go to you. Are you going to change your tune? And are you going to then go easy top? In fact, not even top 2. You're going to be saying champions up by Easter and all that rubbish what you normally spout. Yes?
Okay, I'm going to use Sean's methodology. I'll be absolutely positive that Sunderland will probably then lose the next 5 after that, because that is exactly what we're like. Yeah, right. So what's the question? So if we win the next 4, so the 5 games included Wimbledon. So if it includes Wimbledon, then it goes up in January. If it does that, if we do that, then of course, look, don't get me wrong. Mathematically, I'm looking at the top 2 now. I'm looking, just because I don't think we'll do it.
Oh, steady on, Michael. Steady on, top 2.
Well, you've got to look up. You don't want to be looking behind you.
Well, exactly. But my point was, right, at the minute, I don't think we'd do it. I don't think we'll show the consistency required to do that. But it can't be, just because I don't think it'll happen, doesn't mean you can't look at how the gap is to the top 2. It doesn't mean you can't look and say, Hull dropped points yesterday against Blackpool, who are actually a decent side, to be fair to them. So you never know. But for Sunderland to get top 2, like Sean said, we're going to have to go on some good run to get anywhere near that. Playoffs, don't see why that should be written off. But again, it just depends on how consistent we are. Just wait and see. If we show the necessary application in the games coming up, every chance, why not? But we'll wait and see.
Right, I'm going to be. I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be when we ask Dino, but just very quickly before we go to Dino, Bradley Young on the chat says the Mad Mistakes stream is better than Danny Collins. So there you go.
Don't say that again. Danny Collins is here.
No, sorry. Bradley Young is very drunk at the moment, apparently.
On a Sunday.
No, mad mistake. Tune in for his stream. It is better than Danny Collins and very good as well. Though Danny Collins' commentary is very good, but neither of them are as good as what we do on SAFC Fan TV. Oh wait, Terry, I'm just having a laugh.
Not looking at me.
Oh, Terry.
Drivers, man.
Anyway, listen, right.
All 3 commentaries are good.
Well said,
Right.
Terry.
Good, well said.
Right, listen, we've just won. We've already beaten Wimbledon. We've won then the next 4 games, 5 in a row. We're sitting pretty. We're going to go up as champions, isn't that right, Dino? And you're going to change your attitude, and you're going to become positive, Dino. And we're all going to be going, who's this bloke on our channel? Yes.
You know what? I don't know what world you live in, but you don't live in my world. Like for me, if we
Amazon world,
if we win the next 5 in a row, I'll think about
You'll be on naked. You'll be naked on this channel.
No.
yes.
I'll think about we'll be able to make playoffs because
what?
I'm still in the fact we're not going to get there because you've got to think, right, you win the next 5. Then you could not win the next 10. You could be drawing loads like we do. But you've got to think, Philly, we might not even get to the end of the season, man. It might be another points per game system.
Mate, listen.
You've got to think about these things.
Mate, you're the only person who could turn winning 5 games in a row into, but then we might lose the next 10. I mean,
to be fair, I said something like that. It's not just Dino.
You know what, Philly, the season is over 46 games, not the next 5. Simple as that. And you've got to think the AFL could potentially go, we're going to have to stop the AFL because of COVID and all that. You just don't know what's going to happen. So for now, you've got to win as many games as you can because if it goes on points per game system, you want to be up.
Listen, you know
Just
what?
think though, Dino, if we win the next 5 and then they do stop the season, we won't have to cheat. Like Wickham will already be in the top 6.
Don't even go there. Mad mistake, quickly.
And am I the only person that thinks this question's absolute bollocks? All we've got to talk about in the whole big picture of Sunderland Football Club is this all we've got to talk about. Let's pretend I win the lottery on Tuesday night. What will I do?
Yes, Terry, you are the only one.
If you all win the lottery, what should we do? I'm going to buy
Terry,
I'm going to buy a house at Ramside.
Listen, Terry, winning the next 4 games to make it 5 in a row is well easily achievable.
I'm not
winning
saying
the lottery.
It's unlikely.
No, it's other than Ipswich, and Ipswich is dodgy, right? It is nailed on. It's like
no.
Let's talk about Carl Winchester's first performance yesterday. Let's talk about good
Well,
for Cole. Let's
Terry,
talk about something
Terry,
that's real,
Terry, I've got a
real,
list.
real.
I've got a list of stuff what we're not even going to
We're
get
not
to,
even
man,
gonna put that to
because
the clock all night. Put that
listen.
question last on the list.
All right, well, it was.
Oh, talk about it now. Annoying.
Well, listen, Dino, seeing as we're on this subject, right? Let's say we win every game to the end of the season. You'll still say that we're only going to make the playoffs, wouldn't you?
Philly, if we win every game for the rest of the season, we'll be top. That's the fact, because there's not one team who can do that. It's no team's that consistent.
Right, listen. We was going to talk about Carl Winchester's performance yesterday, but unfortunately, we've
Terry
run out
talked too long.
Let's extend.
Terry was
Philly.
whittering on too
Let's
long.
extend.
Oh,
here we go.
Let's
Another
extend.
extended.
I'm desperate for a wee.
Listen, man, we're trying to keep some continuity here where we keep it to an hour show, right? With those 6 on. We've ended up going over as we normally do. We've got 7 on. And people cannot get in because you've come on, right? If you hadn't come on,
Dino.
if you hadn't
Demanding to come on,
we
Dino.
could have talked about Carl Winchester's first performance.
You wanted us on. I remember saying, I'll get Dino on.
Dean, before the live show started, we fully said, let's wind up Dino. We'll get him on the channel and we'll wind him up.
Well, Phil, why don't we make the Carl Winchester the last subject?
Oh, right. Carl Winchester.
The Plymouth game on Tuesday, we could have covered that as well.
Well, I've got that as well. I've got the Plymouth game as well. I've got all that. I've even got a Stuart Donald one, man. But I didn't know you were gonna.
Look at Sean's face. He turned
Go on,
there.
McDonald instead.
Can we do
didn't-
Philly rapid fire? Rapid fire for everyone.
Philly, text you a loss. I'm all out.
Right, we'll run it. We'll run it for a bit. We'll run it for a bit longer then. Honestly, man, we cannot
Got
do
your
this.
wish, Dino.
Dino. Got your
Right,
wish.
I can't afford your wages for over an hour, and that's it. Right, you'll have
Jacob's
to do.
left. Can we all
You'll
leave
have-
again?
Listen, he's gone. Yeah.
All right.
See you.
I'm coming back. I can't be bothered to stand up.
Yeah, that's it. Right, I'm done.
Now Terry leaves.
Right. then.
He's still late off in.
Right.
You're amazed that people are stuck with us now.
Aye. Oh, we should have done it while Jacob came back.
Jacob comes back and we off and leave.
Yeah.
God, should we do that?
Right. Well,
You
all
have
I
to
can
watch
do.
the-
I can only afford to pay you for an hour, so this extension you're gonna have to do for free. All right, is all right with that?
Yeah, I won't invoice you.
It's all right then. All right then. Mad Mistake, you had a question for us then about Carl Winchester.
What were your thoughts? And yesterday, when he came on, I was screaming for Carl Winchester to come on at half time because I thought Wimbledon was poor, I thought Scan was poor, I thought Brent Ledbetter was the best of the 3 midfielders. I wanted him to come on, and I was disappointed he didn't come on at half time. But when he came on, I think he only touched the ball twice. So I was disappointed. I know I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for his first game. I didn't really see what he did yesterday when he came on, to be fair. So I'm hoping he's better in the future. But obviously he has to bed into the side. Is he fit? I don't know. So for me, Carl Winchester, we'll watch him when he starts the full match. But yesterday, how many times did he touch the ball? Was it twice? I don't know.
Oh, you've all bottled that one like he came back.
Oh, did you go?
Yeah. 3 of us left.
All right, I didn't know you had gone. I wasn't even watching.
I moved like a ninja. I've never moved so fast.
I was watching Terry. I was listening to Terry. The fact that yous weren't. Right
You only
then,
had 2 touches the ball. I was listening to Terry.
Conrad. Then go on.
There's
Carl
no point
Winchester.
asking me. I fell asleep and didn't watch the game. I was ill,
Right.
so I didn't watch it.
Okay then. Jacob, Carl Winchester's performance yesterday.
Yeah, did well when he came on. Looked a very key. No, It's not,
Oh,
Dino,
hello.
Dino's put me on the spot. It's early
No,
days.
listen.
He was all right. Like,
No, listen, no, hang on, stop.
Jacob, speak
Stop,
your mind.
Jacob,
Jacob, speak your mind. Speak your mind.
don't be swayed by anyone else.
Aye.
If you thought he had a
Don't
good
let people
performance,
intimidate you.
no, don't. No, listen.
Jacob,
It
speak your
happens to
mind.
me. Listen, it happens to me all the time, right? I'll watch a game and I'll think somebody's played all right, and everybody else has gone, he was shit, right? So if you think he was all right, just say what you think.
Just
I mean,
speak your mind,
he was okay. I mean, compared to Josh Scowen, he played 90 minutes. How many times did he give the ball away? My God.
I love that.
Right,
My
so-
God.
Right, okay. So you're right. So so Jacob, you got Carl Winchester as man of the match, yes?
Not man of the
I'm
match,
only
but
funny.
there's room for improvement. It's
I'm
hard
just-
to judge, but yeah, it didn't put a foot wrong for me.
Right, I'm just funning with you there. All right, Dino, Carl Winchester.
Well, the performance hindered him because the ball wasn't going into centre midfield. It was just going. The ball got turned over that many times. The only time I seen him touch the ball was when he got the ball and he actually knocked it out for a throw in. And the other time was when it was just the odd little pass, like 5-yard pass. So you can't really judge him because he got 35, 40 minutes and it was a scrappy game and we weren't playing through the centre. And to say Josh Scowen was a bad player, I'm sure he assisted Charlie White's third goal. So
I thought it was a.
so we'll say
That's
for
all he
Charlie
did in
White.
the whole match. That's all he
so-
did in the whole match was one pass to Charlie White. Everything else was out of play, backward passing, sideward passing.
Well, it's like Charlie White. It's like Charlie White. He played crap most of the game, but he scored 3 goals. I mean, midfielders are like judged on how far they run, if they make any assists, tackles, and all that stuff. He made an assist, so that's a good
Scowen
game.
was
Isn't it?
no better than Max Powell was when Max Powell plays badly.
I thought Scowen was driving us forward. He was. Me and Michael thought. Well, we both thought they played really well. I thought Scowen played really well. It's just going to show that we've all just got different opinions. I thought Scowen was probably our best midfielder. He had a couple of sloppy passes and misplaced a couple of passes, but I thought he was driving us forward. He had plenty of energy about him, and like you see, the third goal was just it was all through him. His determination, his drive to get the team forward, and he ran from his edge of his own box up to their box and played a class through ball for the third goal.
I do believe Scowen's a better player when we actually are comfortable in a match. I think when we're under pressure or hanging onto a lead, Scowen tends to be sort of more defensive. For me, when we lead him 2-0, then he was sort of running forward the ball.
Good point, Terry. Yeah.
Dino.
Technically, that was the best our centre midfield's played because Emmerling got an assist, and so does Scowen come from the centre, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Centre of the park. So technically, well, actually, it wasn't Emmerling who assisted. He knocked the ball on for O'Brien.
He played a part.
Assisted the assistant.
He played a part in this. He played through
So
O'Brien,
technically,
didn't he?
that's probably the best our centre midfield's played in a way because nothing
They
ever comes from the
absolutely
centre.
garbage yesterday, so that doesn't mean much, does it?
Oh,
True.
I was thinking that. I didn't want to start another fight.
But it's actually nice. It's actually nice to see a centre midfielder do something for a change instead of just putting it to the wing every single time.
Terry,
So,
you naughty boy.
Cheers, Terry.
Michael, Carl Winchester.
I was too busy looking at the live chat to notice him, so no comment. He did all right. I wouldn't say that he was particularly good or bad, but it was a second half where nobody stood out. I think Carl Winchester just slotted in and just did a job, I guess. But that's only his first game. See what he's like in games to come.
Mm-hmm.
Right, fair dues. My comment on it is, as you know, I'm a grafter. I was working. I did have it on in. I did have it on in the van, and I got home for the last 10 minutes. I never saw him touch the ball.
So you watched the match without doing your job?
You wouldn't get that at Amazon.
No, what I did was I was in the van, and my wife, who wasn't feeling very well,
You made her do the
saying,
grafting.
Karen, will you go and
Karen's the
throw?
grafter.
Yeah, Karen, will you go and drop kick that parcel over the fence into that gun? Which apparently
Drop
that's
kick
how
with him.
Hermes work, and that's not true. Me and Karen are really good. All right, and thank you to the lady in Linwood who gave us some chocolate Brazils.
Who didn't send a complaint about your delivery?
Thank you for the one person who didn't complain.
No, not at all. But what I will say, I saw, I think Neil Diamond came on, didn't he? And I thought he was very good. Yeah, I thought he was.
Neil Diamond.
I thought he was very. He was very good. I thought
Neil Diamond
when he came on. So
yeah, the singer came on, Dino.
Yeah, well, it's all right. Yes.
Are any of you worried about McGeady's performances lately? Because I think he's done nothing in the last couple of years.
I thought he was good on Tuesday, but he was off the ball yesterday. Like he was like the same game in Northampton against Northampton. Just didn't look out of sorts. But the Tuesday game against Portfield, he come on and he looked like quality. But and again, he coming off the bench when he starts the game on Saturday. He just didn't really impact on the game, to be fair. But I think that game yesterday was just a game where, as Michael just said, not many people stood out. It was a scrappy game, and we were losing these games and we're drawing these games under Ross and under Parkinson. So, that's a good sign as well, where when it's scrappy games, we've turned them into wins, and that's what we need to sort of try and deviate from scrappy games like that, drawn and getting beaten, getting no points at all. So that's a plus sign.
Terry, are you in to get in there?
It's going to be a good sign that maybe McGeady's probably better going to be an impact player, isn't he? He's going to be better coming off the bench. Because I know Goof's got COVID at the moment. I hope he gets better soon. And we have Luke O'Neill to come back in the fold as well. So for me, McGeady, if he is not performing that well, for me, an impact player like Maguire, an impact player.
So, quickly, let's go around. Your man of the match yesterday, Conrad? Oh, you didn't watch it, did you? Sorry. Jacob.
Why is he here? Why is he here if he didn't watch it?
Dino, they listened to your point in the review yesterday and went, we're not having that. That's
right. Jacob, then, man of the match yesterday.
Only one man, hat-trick hero, Charlie White, mate.
Right. Sean?
Absolutely. As Jacob just said, hat-trick hero, man of the moment, definitely Charlie White.
Dino?
I can't give it to Charlie White because I still think he's awful, so I'm going to give it a... I'm kidding, man. Obviously, it's Charlie White, man. Of course, it's got to be Charlie White. You can't score a hat-trick and not give him man of the match.
Hey, honestly.
Oh.
I'll tell you what, Jacob nearly ripped his posters off the wall.
I don't do
Nearly took down his Arsenal scarf and everything. He's painted an S on.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a Sunderland crest on as well.
Yeah.
I know you want my Avengers poster, Conrad. Shut up.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Of course, not give you that. That's awesome.
Mad mistake, man of the match. One touch Wyke, Virgil van Wyk, straight in. Took those goals well, to be honest. I was just about to ask Michael, the man of the match, and he's decided.
He ran away, bottled it.
He's decided he doesn't want to.
He said in the chat, Winchester.
He did actually. Yeah, he's put Winchester in the chat.
Really? Can we bar him out?
Maybe that's why he left. He went like, I'm going to say it and I'm going to run. Just cause chaos.
Scared.
He's disconnected.
I just have. There you go. Right. So Charlie White from Terry and finally Michael, man of the match.
I can't believe you said Winchester in the chat.
Shut up! You weren't supposed to reveal that. Oh, who do I? Okay, I'm going to go for an unsung player. I'm going to go for Jordan Willis. I think Willis was pretty good. I think made a difference. So I'm going to be different to everyone else and say Jordan Willis personally. But I don't blame people for giving it to Wyke.
What I do want to comment on, right, is that do you feel that Bailey Wright and Jordan Willis, as soon as they start passing long balls, we just lose the ball straight away? But defending-wise, Willis was good.
Both of them defensive-wise are class, but like you see, they do play a lot of long balls out, and I think when you do that, it's just a 50-50. You probably a good chance you're going to lose the ball. But that's why I like in Scowen was retaining the ball from them, getting it and driving us forward instead of like hoofing it, passing it out with defence. And like you say, if you're just going to hoof it up top, Charlie White, is he going to win it 50-50? Is anybody on it? It's just
I only want to see one defensive, one deep midfielder, either Scowen or Ledbetter, get the ball off the defenders, give it to the other midfielders, and get the ball forward, running with the ball rather than just hoofing the ball down the wings.
Right, Dino, you want in?
Yeah, there's two things, right? I realised from kickoff that was probably the first time I've seen we're from kickoff not hoof the ball straight away. We're actually trying to pass it. I realised from kickoff straight away. And secondly, on the Willis thing, obviously all of us, we rate Willis, don't we? We like Willis as a defender. We think he's a great defender. There's only one bloke I know who doesn't like Willis. I know who he's. You all know who he is. SAFC David. He doesn't rate the bloke, and I still don't.
But he praised him yesterday though, on Twitter. He actually put a tweet out saying that I didn't like Joe Millis, but it was absolutely outstanding yesterday.
Right, well, just let me quickly say, hang on, a little bit of a surprise for you. We do have SCFC David, and he's joining us now. So Terry, you want in there?
I just want to say that ever since Phil Parkinson's left, we've stopped hoofing the ball down straight from kickoff. So I don't understand how Dino has never seen that before. Because that was one of my pet hates. One of my pet hates was kickoff, hoof the ball down the line and lose the ball. What's the point of having the ball in the centre spot and giving it away?
It's exactly the same when you concede the goal.
Now with Lee Johnson, we're passing the ball about a bit better.
Well, that was the first time I've actually realised, though, Terry, because normally I don't watch the kickoff. I'm normally doing something that come in. But that was the first time I seen him pass back, and it didn't go woof. It actually went sideways forward. I was like, woof.
There was a dog on the pitch going woof.
Still instilled in the defenders in Willison and Bailey Wright to try and spray the ball around. They haven't got that ability to do it. Give the ball to the midfielders. That's what they can do.
Right, just quickly, when we're on about man of the match here, Adam French on the chat says Lee Johnson for making changes, which he does do, and he does it with plenty of time. Quickly, Michael?
Guys, changed my option. Sean, man of the match. Did a great job with the commentary yesterday.
Oh, he wasn't that good. Not as good as Charlie Wyke.
I didn't see Sean scoring a hat-trick in commentary.
Yeah, Dino.
I said that in my match review that one of the positives is Lee Johnson adapting. He's actually he's like, if this formation doesn't work, he changes it. If this formation doesn't work, he changes it. He changes it mid-match. I like that. I really do. I like that. He's not making the same changes like Parkinson done, where it would always be the same minute, the same players. He's changing it all the time, and that's what I like. It's refreshing. It's actually nice to see.
Yeah,
right.
I think you did say that, Dino. It's just really hard to remember it when you're just going, "Oh my god, just being happy." Jeez,
it was good.
when you get 10 minutes deep into that video, you forget that you do have a positive bit at the end.
Did you see the
comments? Oh, that was rubbish.
I know they were having goes at you left, right, and centre.
Oh, the comments were brutal on me. It was unbelievable.
I'm not surprised.
Give over, man, brutal my arse.
They were brutal. They were brutal. I was crying when I went to sleep.
The real world. That's not brutal at all.
Exactly. It was
that, believe me. Have you seen the comments about bloody Michael Bowers every now and again and Wade Philly and this, that, and the other? They're not brutal.
Those four lads that they made a meme.
It's exactly what it is.
Terry,
oh,
Terry,
yeah.
No,
I cried myself to sleep.
Yeah. Dino,
oh, what a baby.
Dino,
it's turkey twizzlers.
It's opinions. That's all it is. Everybody's entitled to one. And if it doesn't agree with yours, then on the chin, you got to take it. Right.
I've got an IQ of a grapefruit. That was one. I've got an IQ of a grapefruit.
Oh, I did laugh at that. That was a good comment. That.
Yeah, we liked that one and gave him some money for it.
Yeah, I promised to delete it. I will delete it.
Keep it on. Keep it on.
No, it was me who did it under me pseudonym. Never mind. Right, listen. Before we go then, Tuesday night will be our second of our 5 wins when we play Plymouth Argyle at home. I just want a quick prediction of you all and see how far out you all are. So, Mad Mistake, Tuesday night against Plymouth.
Plymouth are no pushovers whatsoever. It'll be a tight match, but hopefully we'll sneak a 2-0 win eventually.
2-0 win eventually. 2-0, but a rubbish performance. Dino?
We'll get beat 1-0. We'll get beat 1-0.
Oh, for goodness.
No, I'm kidding. 1-0 Sunderland. 1-0 Sunderland.
1-0. All right. And if it's a really bad performance, but we win 1-0, you'll still be happy, won't you?
It'll be a good result, but the performance
No,
still need to improve.
Will he be happy
Improve,
with
simple as that.
Will he be happy with the result?
Listen,
I'll be happy with the result, but if the performance is no good, I'll still say the performance still need to improve. It's as simple as that.
listen. If I brought Karen on camera now naked, you still wouldn't be happy, would you? Terry, you would.
No,
Sorry,
I want to say you naked, mate.
Oh my goodness me!
I want to see the film.
I feel like me and Dino said the way it is. You know, we're not afraid to speak our minds, and like we don't make everything rosy in the garden when it's not. So we say the way it is, simple as.
I think we're a better team now. Right,
No,
We say the way it is off air.
no.
right. Sean Middleton.
10-0. What?
4-0 to Sunderland.
Away, man.
I hope so.
Say it as it is. Jacob, what do you think the score's going to be?
Keep the faith. How are the lads? 2-0.
2-0, the same as Terry. Conrad?
2-0.
2-0,
Are you
same
going to watch it,
again.
Conrad, this time?
If I'm feeling all right, yeah, Dino. Bye,
Michael, Michael, what do you think?
I'm going to say how it is when people have conflicting narratives of games, but I'm going to say 1-0 Sunderland.
1-0, and I'm going to go for a nice, comfortable 3-0 win. So we've all got us to win, and we've all got us to keep a clean sheet. So you must think that we're improving. That's
Let's go 1-0 up after 5 minutes now.
right. Well, I'm not bothered. They can go 1-0 up so long as we score 2. If they score 1, not really bothered. What we're going to do then, Tuesday, there will be a live commentary on our channel on SAFC Fan TV. So please tune into that. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Give us a quick, before you go, give us a quick, hit the thumbs up, give us a like down there if you would. And don't forget, we are so close to 5,000 now. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. A longer show again tonight. Thanks to Conrad and Storm, the cat. Thanks for joining us. Jacob, Dan Saff. Dan Saff, thanks for Jacob for taking part. Sean Middleton, still cold in his house in his hat and jacket. Thanks for joining us.
I respect that. Not putting the heating on in January. I respect
I know.
that.
The Mad Mistake way down in Old Durham way. Gives a wave. Thanks for joining us. Michael Bowers, gives a wave. Thanks for joining us. And he shouldn't have really been on. He's muscled his way in tonight. But thanks for coming on.
Fresh from
Dino.
Negativeville.
The Dementor.
The Dementor and the IQ of a grapefruit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really got under your grapefruit skin. That has, hasn't it? It really has. That's proper niggled you. Yes, Terry.
Must come on tonight in between clients.
Oh yes, he
Oh
has.
right, the red light. I wondered what you're on about.
Yeah. We'll let you get back to your job, your nighttime job, Roxanne.
No,
You're not gonna have the telly on.
It's OnlyFans.
Right. Listen, we've got to go. I've got to go. My wife wants to kick me head in for all the insults. Apparently. Listen, thanks for joining us. We will be back on Tuesday night for a live stream, and back with us again on Thursday for Thursday Night Live. Thanks for joining us. We love you all. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Dino's wrong.
Still alive.
Sorry, I forgot to.
We're still live.
We're still live. Yeah, we're still live. Turn it off, man.
Stop swearing, Mad
I
Mistake.
will suck your
Still on.
soul.
Still on. We're still live.
I know.